Thank you for joining me here today. I'm going to start by asking everyone to do me a quick favor and raise your hand if you have ever posted on social media. Now keep it raised if you have checked your post within the first hour to see how many likes and comments you got. Yeah, as expected, most of you kept your hands up. In fact, 73% of people reported checking their posts within just a few minutes to see how much engagement they got. Now, what if we could take that experience and use it to visualize how people are engaging with our content at work? What if we lived in a world where we didn't just throw pages out into the void and hope people see it? My name is Gautam Jethwani, and I am an engineer on the Confluence Analytics team. Give me 15 minutes of your time today, and I'm going to completely revolutionize how your team collaborates on Confluence. I'm sure everyone here is familiar with this process. We have some information to disseminate, and a Confluence page seems like the most appropriate medium through which to do it. Our fingers are churning out content that's invaluable to our colleagues. You can't wait for them to read it. We hit publish, and we wait for the comments to roll in. We keep waiting. We're still waiting. We're waiting some more. Yeah, what gives? My colleagues must have seen my page by now, but surely there should have been some sort of comments or engagement. We at Confluence Analytics understand the pain of publishing a page and then being completely in the dark about how it's performing. That's why we built a rich set of features that empower you to use data to never be in the dark again. If you follow me over to the byline, where you can see the page's metadata and who authored the page and when, you'll see a button that you may or may not have seen before, which will either say Analytics or X people viewed. Let's click it and open the door to a whole new world of insight. There's a lot of information to unpack in this little dialogue that just popped up here. But good thing my team and I are in the business of information. Right away, you get a bird's eye view of your page's performance. You get to see both the number of total views and the number of unique viewers who have viewed your page. So no cheating our system by getting a bot to refresh your page over and over. Below that is a graph that lets you observe the popularity of your page. Perhaps that peak on the right is where you blasted the page out to your company. And now you know that's what drives traffic to your content. And if you need to get a little bit more personal with your statistics, below the graph is where you can see the last few people who have viewed your page and how long ago they viewed it. But more often than not, we want specific people to view our page. And the number one way to get that done, other than going up to them and being like, hey, can you view my page, is to mention them on the page. But of course, you don't want to comb through potentially hundreds or thousands of viewers to see if Joe from accounting has viewed your very important page on spending. Confluence Analytics actually gives mentioned users their own place in our dialogue. Right here is where you'll be able to see who to call out for not viewing your page. Conversely, you can also see who has already viewed your page. And if everyone mentioned views your page, we'll reward you with a nice little celebratory graphic. So right off the bat, just from that one button, you can see the direct impact that your page is making, how big the impact is, and whether the people you want to see your page are actually seeing it. Pretty cool, right? So we've thought of all this functionality that will help make sure that you're making a big impact. Our features present you with the visibility to make sure that your influence isn't too small. But what if it's super huge? We've got you there too. Confluence Analytics will make sure that you're famous. If your page is getting a lot of attention, your colleagues will know it with our popular feed. Sitting right at the homepage of Confluence, the popular feed showcases all of the pages in your company that people are seeing. It curates the hottest pages making waves through your organization and displays all of the emoji reactions that are pushing them up there. Got a new product launch, wrote a spicy blog, someone complaining about snack options in the kitchen. No more hearing about it through the grapevine. This is your grapevine. This is easily my favorite Confluence feature. I don't have to rely on gossip from my coworkers anymore. I just look at what's trending. I've been absorbed into pages for hours and hours, just browsing the popular feed on my way to another page. But if you don't want fame and fortune, that's fine too. We created another feed just for you. Click this little button that says following next to discover what's happening, and it will take you to a feed that provides updates on the people you follow, like your teammates. It'll tell you what they've been working on, what pages they're commenting on, what content is grabbing their attention. It envelopes you in a cocoon of updates that are tailored just to you. Sometime last year, I put together a technical specification for a project that I was heading up, or what I thought was a technical specification. Instead of API diagrams, it turns out that I had posted my favorite cat meme that was stored on my desktop. My colleagues caught this on the popular feed, and instead of letting me know, as normal people would do, they started posting their favorite cat memes. So now we make it a tradition every Friday to inundate the popular feed with memes, funny posts, or non-related content, non-work-related content in general. I think this is a great example of how you can use the following feed to increase your team's synergy and just make work a more fun place. So whether you want your updates on a macro or a micro level, we have a feed just for that. With Confluence Analytics, you can transform yourself into the most informed person in your company without even leaving the homepage of Confluence. Now let's put the big into big data. As you all probably know, Confluence pages are organized into spaces. And this is not a fact that we have neglected. Let's say you manage a high-profile, highly trafficked space, and you want to know how this space is performing. If your first instinct is to go to each and every individual page in the space and comb through the statistics for those pages, I admire your diligence, but we know your time is more valuable than that. When you navigate to your space, you'll notice our little analytics button there in the right pane. If you click it, you'll be taken to your space's analytics page. Over here, we've collected some handy metrics for you. You can see what your most popular pages are, who reads your content the most, and who contributes to your content. This is a section that makes you go, huh, I didn't know that person was reading my pages. We also have a graph that shows you how your space is performing over time. It's highly customizable. You can adjust the date range, time granularity to group by day, week, or month, display total or unique views, or filter by pages or blogs. Now, if you're xenographic, which is a real condition where you're afraid of graphs, we've got you covered. Right below where it says Space Analytics, you can see 3 buttons that say Overview, Pages, and Users. Here you can see all of the pages in your space, as well as their relevant statistics in a list, ordered by whatever metric you like. Date created, last modified, last viewed, comment activity, users viewed, or total views. You name it. Same with individual users who are frequenting your space. This is great, right? Now you can go tell your manager to go view analytics and see how much you and your team are collaborating on Confluence. But there's one caveat. Your manager may be on the more old-fashioned side and slightly averse to new technology. Fear not, we have a feature just for them. If we click these 3 little dots in the top right corner above where it says Views, a little button appears that enables you to export your analytics to an Excel file for anyone to see. Forget your manager. If you want to show off how effectively your team are working together in Confluence, you can export a spreadsheet and send it to as many people as you like, without them ever setting their digital foot in your instance. You can show your parents, your mechanic, your gardener, your barber, anyone. By the way, spreadsheets exported from Confluence Analytics make great Christmas cards. I know from experience. We can take this one step even further and see analytics for your instance as a whole. Confluence Analytics aggregates all of your organization's data and rolls it up into one aesthetically pleasing page. This page presents you with similar information to Space Analytics, but on an organizational level. One key difference that really makes Instance Analytics stand out from the rest of our features is the search feature. If you accompany me over to the Search tab, you can see what users are searching for in your instance. We show individual search terms, how popular they are, and their click-through rate, meaning how often users clicked on a result from that search. These metrics are really powerful, especially for our site admins in the room. You can see how your colleagues are interacting with Confluence in real time. You can stay informed about who is making the most impact, what content is performing the best. You have an entirely data-driven view into your company's day-to-day operations. You know exactly what's missing from your Confluence instance. And of course, it's not a Confluence Analytics feature without a graph. You can click into each and every search term to view its click-through rate over time. You've never seen analytics like this. Our search features empower you to see where the gaps are in your company's knowledge base. What are your colleagues looking for? What are they intrigued by? All right here in our search analytics. Now we've established that there's a lot of data at your fingertips. And data makes you powerful in today's world. But with great power comes great responsibility. And you can control who wields that power with our in-house restrictions feature. At any time, you can modify who is able to view analytics, both at a space and a site level. Put your hand up if you're an admin of a space or a site. There we go, almost everyone. If you're an admin of either of these entities, you can list specific users or user groups that you want to be able to view analytics. And if you're feeling extra brave, you can leave analytics for your space or site open for anyone to view. We hold a lot of your data, and we take that responsibility seriously. If you don't want someone viewing your analytics, that right is right at your fingertips. Now, I know I bombarded you with a lot of information in not a lot of time. But what I want you to take away from this presentation is that in a world where data is a more valuable commodity than oil, we can be your oil rig. Confluence Analytics can give you the tools to take control of your data and use it to your advantage. And if anyone disagrees with me, I'll happily spar with them out back. And of course, by that, I mean I'll tell them how Confluence Analytics is secure, private, accurate, and reliable. So I've just spent the last 20 minutes standing in front of you, telling you all about the stuff that will completely revolutionize the way you use Confluence. And now you're all probably thinking, OK, that's all well and good. That's really cool. But how do I get access to these features? The good news is you don't have to lift a finger. If you have a license to Confluence Cloud, you will have access to Confluence Analytics by default. You may have already seen or used our features in your instance. But how much access you have depends on your Confluence tier. On a free plan, you'll have access to the page analytics from the byline. On a standard plan, you'll have more insights into your content's performance, but no access to space and instance analytics. On a premium plan, you wield the full might of Confluence Analytics with data at every single level of Confluence. My advice would be to upgrade and try it out. I'm not a betting man, but we are in Las Vegas, and my money would be on you not regretting that move. You get all of these features, plus insights that I didn't even have time to cover today. But don't take my word for it. I work for Atlassian, so I may be just a little bit biased. Take the word of our premium customers. Amongst those interviewed, Confluence Analytics turned out to be one of their favorite features, and I guarantee it will be yours too. So what are you waiting for? Take ownership of your data with Confluence Analytics. All right, thank you for coming today.